Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. Um, First of all, happy Thanksgiving, right? Happy Thanksgiving. Um, I hope that wherever you are with people that you love or can at least tolerate, get through dinner. Um, Today is Charlie's birthday, and I wanted to share a tradition with you. Every year, on my kid's birthday, I take a picture of them holding up the year that they are on their fingers, and I text it to Dr. Huggins, my gynecologist, or OBGYN, with a note about that child and how old they are and how much we love him and are thankful for him. And this year, Charlie's birthday falls on Thanksgiving, so I thought, and Dr. Huggins is retiring this summer. And it got me thinking about what words to find for the man who gives you healthy children. How do you thank somebody who rounds on you every day in a hospital where I laid for 31 days before she was born? 31 days. He was my champion, my voice of reason, my sanity, my reassurance. And I remember him coming into my room the night before Thanksgiving, and I had been contracting all day, but I didn't want anyone to know because I was really, really trying to make it to 36 weeks. And he said to me, I'm leaving for Thanksgiving, and I won't be back till Sunday. So if you're going to pull any stunt or do anything, you better do it now, because I won't be here for 4 days. And I knew, my intuition knew I wouldn't make it 4 days because I knew I was contracting and I knew I would bleed. I knew if I stood up out of the bed, I would bleed. So I stood up and I bled immediately. And he said, well, it's showtime. And I remember in that moment being terrified that Michael wouldn't make it to the hospital in time, terrified of what a C-section would feel like, terrified of a blood transfusion, terrified of what a 34-week baby would look like. Would I recognize her? I don't know. Terrified is the only word I could use. And the nurses came in. They come with needles that they want to stick in your neck for PICC lines, and the alarms are sounding. My mother-in-law's in the hallway. It was just crazy. And he said, only you would ignite this frenzy to have a baby. And I told him, I'm terrified. And I remember the feel of his hand. Some people have a gift, and their gift is, it's like a calm. I can't explain it. But I remember the feel of his hand, and I remember feeling it in my hand and believing him when he said, this is going to be fine. We are going to be fine. I'm not going to leave your side. And I remember trying to get Michael on the phone. He had a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old at home, and he was like, okay, they're in the bath. I was like, you need to find someone to come over. You have to come to the hospital. And he was like, what do I do? And I remember they were trying to get the epidural in, and the blood was just pouring out. And Dr. Huggins is like, all right, we need to get this epidural show on the road here, folks. And the anesthesiologist was like nervous because, typically when they give an epidural, the woman is not hemorrhaging, So with every contraction, blood was just pouring out. And the poor anesthesiologist was like, I'm doing the best I can, Jamie. I was like, you're fine. Dr. Huggins was like, yep, but we're going to speed it up a little bit. And he kept having to re-stick me to try to get it. And I was like, okay, forget it. Let's just go. And Dr. Huggins was like, yeah, I can't cut you open without an epidural. I'll have to put you out. And I was like, okay, we're going to get that epidural. Come on, buddy. You know, and it brought a little comic relief. But I remember hearing people say, you know, complete previa, you know, 34 weeks, you know, NICU nurses. And it's very, like, alarming. Anyway, now that I've brought you, like, way down on Thanksgiving, sorry, you know, Michael made it in the nick of time. And Dr. Huggins performed the C-section. And Charlie had the cord around her neck, and then there was a knot in the cord, and of course they took pictures of it. He was like, only your kid. And she was 6 pounds even at 34 weeks, and she did have to go to the NICU, and she spent 14 days there. And I remember I was in recovery thinking, this feels weird. Where's my baby? What am I doing here? I'm freezing. I don't like this. They give you morphine. You can't think about anything. And the next morning, I had to go to the NICU to see her. And I woke up. They take the morphine away first thing in the morning, and they make you get up. And I shuffled. And when I tell you shuffled, I'm talking about micro steps the size of Tic Tacs. Okay, that's how much pain I was in. From my room. Now, keep in mind, I had not walked in 32 days. Had not walked really, other than to the bathroom. So my legs were like jello, and I had just had a C-section. So when I tell you shuffled, I look like an X-Men. I look like some sort of weirdo. Shuffled to the elevator. It took me about 30 minutes to get to the elevator. And I went down to the NICU, and it was Thanksgiving morning, and I'm looking at all these NICU nurses, and I'm looking at Charlie. I'm looking at all these babies. And I'm just like, I need to really dig deep right now. Find something to be thankful for. I'm away from my kids. My whole family's together. I'm alone in the hospital, hurting, blah, blah, blah. And the NICU nurses were telling me, you know, she's the big kid on the block. Look how fat she is and how good she's doing, even though she needs oxygen and she can't hold her body temperature and all these things. And I'm like, I never thought baby would tubes. And suddenly I just had a calm. It was like I knew everything would be okay. And I remember Dr. Huggins looking at me and saying, we're going to be fine. She's going to be fine. This is going to be fine. And it was. And it is. And Charlie has brought so much joy to so many people. But I remember the fear. And I say all of this to say, I don't know, I'm talking in circles because I'm emotional, that I just am so thankful for him. And I told him in the message, today while you're sitting at your table giving thanks, know that there are thousands of women at their own tables looking around at their babies, giving thanks for you. And, you know, I don't know if y'all know him, but if you don't know him, you should try to. Because when I lost my baby, he was as calming and as reassuring in that moment as he was when he was bringing my other babies into the world. And it's just an amazing gift. It's just an amazing, amazing gift to have. Not everybody has that. To be able to provide a woman calm in her scariest times, both happy and sad. I don't know. If you've made it this far into the video, I love you. And I want to say this. I am so incredibly thankful for you and your participation in Coffee Talk every single day. I love that you show up for me. That is why I show up for you. I pray for you. I stalk you on Facebook to look at you and your families. I try to like your statuses. When you share mine, it lets me know and I can go to your page. Know that I love you so much. And I can't wait to get up and do this again with you tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving, Coffee Talk family. I love you so much today. Have a great day.